Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Count It All Joy Designs, Fireside Chats. We're so happy to have you here for episode 4. As you can see, I've got my compadre here, Carrie, my sister-in-law, business partner, and BFF. We're so happy to have you here again. I'm trying to get you all in the holiday spirit with the snow, so get ready for it, guys. Just wanted to thank you guys for continuing to support our local artists, crafters, artisans, business owners, as well as our songwriters. At a time with COVID where these folks cannot get out to sell their wares and to perform, and this is just such a big, big, big positive for them. So thank you so much for being with us. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Carrie, who is going to go ahead and introduce our first guest artist, Lisa Gerla-Feder.
Thanks so much, Anna. Love your background. I'm enjoying my fire in my living room.
Yeah.
Okay, I am so honored to introduce you to Lisa, our guest artist.
Hello.
Welcome to the Fireside Chat, Lisa. We are happy you could be our guest today.
Thank you for inviting me, Carrie and Anna.
Lisa is a dear friend, as well as a local artist that specializes in a variety of artwork for clients, from paint on canvas, paper and fabric, to hand-painted denim jackets and bags, to painted wood jewelry, drawings, paintings, digital art, and even murals. Lisa also exhibits her work locally at craft shows and several local galleries. Lisa's a very special person. She was born deaf, and she relies on lip reading and hearing devices to communicate. You're going to love Lisa's work, and we just know it. Although Lisa has a cell phone with a closed caption device, she uses it for emergencies only. So it would be best to email her if you'd like to learn more about her artwork to make communication with Lisa easier. If you do end up speaking with Lisa on the phone, please remember to speak slowly and clearly, like I am now, so she can read your lips. Lisa, can you start by telling us a bit about yourself and how you got into art?
I've been an artist since I was a little kid. Art and dance have been my passion since I was 3, but I continue to focus more on fine arts and graphic design than dancing. I graduated with a BFA in graphic design and a minor in fine arts from the University of Akron.
And where do you draw inspiration for your creations, Lisa?
Inspiration comes from my photography of nature, architecture, light and shadow, and everyday life. Every piece of art has a story.
So there may be other aspiring artists that are watching this Fireside Chat. Can you share how your fine arts degree played a role in your early career?
Early in my career, I worked for large companies in their advertising department as a graphic designer, as well as a production artist in Northeast Ohio. In my free time, I worked on painting, drawing, a freelance project to design logo, pamphlet, and other promotional items. Later on, since becoming a full-time wife and mom, I've done painting and drawing in my spare time. Now that my son is grown and off to college, I've been working out of my home, focusing full-time on hand and digital painting, drawing, custom design jewelry, design, fabric painting, and drawing pet portrait. My artwork has been shown at the gallery show and exhibition in Northeast Ohio.
Lisa, I remember first meeting you at a local craft show. One of the pieces that struck me as being really special and unique was your painted jackets. Can you share how you got the idea to start painting on fabric?
A few years ago, I was showing some of my work in a gallery in Little Italy in Cleveland called Creative for You. The former owner suggested I try fabric painting on lady denim jacket. The idea was born. I call this wearable art. I have sold some jackets and art the craft shows, and clients have also provided jackets to me to customize. Some of my jackets are currently for sale at the Artisan Gallery in Little Italy, Cleveland.
Wow, can you tell us a little bit about how you make the jackets?
All the medium I use are high quality fabric paints and markers. Fabric paints on the jacket are preheated by iron to prevent damage from the wet weather and machine washing.
While I show our audience a few examples of your beautiful jackets, can you please share what some of your most popular jacket designs are?
The most popular design are the Cleveland skyline and historic Little Italy. I can also do custom pet portraits on jackets. When designing jacket, I either use the customer photo or I design a theme for them. Price will be quoted based on the complexity of work. Which I have a fabric painting of music. This was dedicated to my mother who loved music and singing. Now this is a wall art made of denim.
It's beautiful. Sorry, I had a little trouble with the slideshow, but I was able to show your jackets. So something else that Lisa paints on is throw pillows. And next I'm going to show a few of the pillows that Lisa has designed. Again, pricing will depend on the complexity of the design. Here they are. So on the right, we see one of Lisa's pet portraits. Lisa, I know there's been a lot of interest in your pet portraits, which you cleverly call pet pawtraits. Can you share some information with the audience about your pet portraits while I show some of your favorites?
Yeah. Most of the portraits are done in color pencil on either black or light gray paper. I offer 3 types of portrait: realistic, character, or custom design. Any type of pet is welcome. I mostly do dogs and cats, but would be willing to draw more exotic animals too. I would need a good resolution picture to work from. I look for the precise details on the face, ears, fur, tail, and body. Providing more than one picture is also helpful. My mission is to bring the pet portrait to life, so it would be helpful to know a bit of your pet's personality. 8 by 10 and 11 by 14 are most common sizes, but I can also work on smaller than 8 by 10 or larger than 11 by 14. Pricing varies based on size of the portrait, matting, and frame. Shipping will be an added charge.
Okay, so Lisa also makes hand-painted wood jewelry, which I just showed. Can you tell us a bit about that? And I will go back to showing pictures to the audience.
Yeah. First, the
Sorry. Okay.
These are natural wood pendant. That's what I use to paint the product. It is less than an eighth of an inch, very thin, very light. The painting and design are applied a natural wood tag in the form of pendants and earrings. The medium I use are acrylic and watercolor paint, ink, and markers. All jewelry is coated with resin. Inspiration comes from my nature photography, and abstract design. A few pieces of jewelry, a duplicate of my hand-painted jacket. Price varies on the side of the wood pendant and earring, medium and necklace chain. Price start at $20 and up. Commission for custom design jewelry are welcome.
Beautiful. I'm not sure if Lisa mentioned, but they're very lightweight because they're painted wood.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for showing us your work today, Lisa. How can people connect with you if they want to commission a piece of jewelry or artwork? And will you be at any craft shows in the near future?
Thank you.
The best way to connect with Lisa is here, via email.
Email is the best way to reach me at lgerla-federstudio@gmail.com or text me through one of my 2 Facebook pages, Instagram or Messenger. Due to the pandemic and my compromised immune system, I'm working on making a virtual holiday show for Facebook either at the end of this month or early December. And I hope to be doing craft show next year.
We hope so too, Lisa. Thank you so much for spending time with us tonight and sharing your beautiful artwork. We invite anyone who wants to connect with Lisa to reach out using the methods that I just shared that are also on our Facebook page. She will also be available to chat during our Zoom call following the chat tonight. Okay, thanks, Lisa. We'll see you later. Okay, next I'm going to share about our standard and special canvas designs. Last week I spoke about our custom canvas designs, and we're excited to get started on a few of those. This week we want to talk about the standard designs that we offer and cover some gift ideas for giving a canvas from Count It All Joins designs to someone special this holiday season. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint and hopefully it will work correctly this time. I had to change around the order. Okay, so first of all, we are very excited to show you this design. This is a good gift for anyone who is Christian. We call this our For I Know Who I Am cross canvas design. This print was created by Anna and myself based on a flyer that we got from Grace Church during a sermon one week. With their permission, we repurposed the text, making the design our own. The message behind the canvas is very special and has to do with who we are as children of God. Bible references to our true identity in Christ are laid out in the shape of a cross. Each cross features 4 to 5 different fonts to add visual interest to the design. This canvas is available in 2 sizes, and it has 2 different stock photo background images. It should be noted that these are the only canvases that feature stock photography, that is, photos that were purchased online and not taken by Anna or myself. This is the 16 by 20 cross canvas, and it features a beach sunset image in the background. The smaller one, on the right, is a close-up that shows you some of the Bible phrases, paraphrases really, and that explain who you are in Christ. For example, chosen, Ephesians 1:14. No longer a slave to sin, Romans 6:6, or saved by his life, Romans 5:10. This is the smaller version, which is actually the larger of our standard design, and that is 12 by 18, and it features an image of a starry night sky in the background to remind you of God's wonderful creation. Prices for the canvases do not include tax for Ohio residents and or applicable shipping charges. The 12 by 18 Starry Night background cross is $66, and the 16 by 20 Beach Sunset background cross is $86. Please send us a message on Facebook if you're interested in getting either of these for someone special this Christmas. We can surely get it to you on time. Next, a little something for the animal lovers in your life. Anna and I both love our dogs and pets, and this canvas on the left is 8 by 10, and it is one of our best sellers. It's a cat outside relaxing and says lazy days are the best days. Something unique about this cat is that it has 6 toes, which we didn't notice until after we got the final piece printed and delivered to us. The photo on the right is also an 8x10, and we call this Giraffe Kiss. This was taken at the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo and has the very popular Bible verse on it: 3 things will last forever: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. 2 more animals to show are puppy dogs. On the left, a beautiful little lab puppy in a seatbelt with the phrase, "For he will order his angels to protect you wherever you go." A great gift reminder for a college student or faraway family member that you want to offer God's protection to. And on the right, one of our very important Bible verses from the book of Micah, a dog walking on the beach, a simple act that just reminds us that the Lord has told us what is good and that all he requires of us is to do what is right, love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. Next up, we have some photos, canvases for the flower children in your life. Everybody knows someone who just loves flowers, and Anna and I especially love photographing flowers. On the right, we have the first canvas that we designed as a company, featuring the daisies. This is 12 by 18, and it makes a beautiful piece of art to hang on your wall with an awesome reminder to look up and let God. On the right, we have a close-up of a dandelion that I took with my 50mm lens, and the reminder to take delight in the Lord, that he will give you the desires of your heart. These are both, or this one is from the Psalms. A couple more flower canvases. On the left is an 8x10 that I took a picture of a lilawadi. That is Thai for plumeria, one of my favorite Thai words that I learned when I was in Chiang Mai, Thailand on a mission trip, paired with the great reminder for every day that this is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And on the right, a blooming sunflower that has a cute little ladybug in the lower right corner. This is to remind us that anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. A new life has begun, just as the sunflowers bloom new each year. That is 12 by 18, and the pink flower is 8 by 10. So Anna and I also both love to travel, so we always have our cameras with us, and we couldn't help but highlight these few canvases, which would be great for anyone who loves the outdoors, loves traveling, or loves landscapes. The 2 on the bottom, the beach and the Smoky Woods, are 12 by 18, and the lighthouse is 8 by 10. The one on the left is a sunset at California Beach, I think Huntington Beach, or somewhere like that. And it has Philippians 4:6, which is a great verse to memorize, by the way, because it reminds us not to worry about anything and instead to pray about everything. Isn't gratitude important, especially this month? And the reminder that I've been telling myself a lot lately is, "For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength." That's the New Living Translation of Philippians 4:13. And that photo was taken in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, a beautiful, beautiful part of our country that I hope you get to see. Finally, the lighthouse was taken from a cruise ship cruising into a port in the Bahamas. I believe it's called Hogshead Lighthouse. I almost said Hogsmeade for those Harry Potter fans out there. And just like a lighthouse lights the way for ships, we paired it with this reminder, this verse that reminds us that the Lord lights up our darkness, from the book of 2 Samuel. And speaking of the Bible, everybody has a Bible lover in their life, someone who just really knows and lives the word. And these are just 2. The one on the left is an 8 by 10, and the one on the right is a 12 by 18. The one on the right is Marblehead, Ohio, and it has the picture of the viewfinder in front of the lighthouse. And a person standing looking out to the Great Lake Erie. The Bible verses, these are both from the Psalms. This one is, "Your word is a lamp to guide my feet and a light for my path." Again, just like a lighthouse guides a ship home, so does God's word guide us in our daily life. And everyone could use the reminder to be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10, and that's King James Version. That was also taken in the Great Smoky National Park by Anna. Beautiful, beautiful river. Okay, here are some gift ideas for Bible lovers as well. The one on the left is an 8x10, and it's our namesake for Count It All Joy Designs. Our namesake verse, James 1:2, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. We look great hanging in a living room or a bedroom with that bright, vibrant butterfly doing what he needs to do on that flower. And then on the right, a great gift for the man in your life who might love the Bible, or anyone who loves farming or farm equipment, or just the beauty of the countryside. This canvas reminds us that at just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we just don't give up. And what a good reminder that would be for this year that we've had, not to give up. One other reason, that's a very popular reason to give gifts, is to say thank you, or to honor someone who was lost this year. This was such a difficult year to lose anyone in your family or friend circle. So this 8x10 canvas with the blue forget-me-not flowers is a wonderful reminder to anyone of the love that you had, and the thankfulness that you have to God to have had this person in your life, whether they have gone or whether they're still in your life. This would be a great gift for a friend as well. And finally, we can't forget one of the most important people of all, Mom. These two canvases are both 8x10s, and the one on the right has been very popular. I believe it was also taken by Anna at that California beach when Henry was younger, and he wrote in the sand, "I love you." And we decided to pair that with "God often speaks through the heart of a child." What simple joy it brings to our lives when a child reminds us how much they love us. Unconditional love is truly a gift, and hopefully you all experience that for and with your moms. And then on the right, just a beautiful canvas for a woman, because it's a great reminder to clothe yourself with the beauty that comes from within and not what the world views as beauty, which is just so precious to God. So that's everything I have to show you as far as canvas gift ideas. To order one of these canvases, please message us through Facebook. You can also view all of these and the new designs that we have coming will be on our Facebook page soon. You go to our Facebook albums, go to the photos, and hit view all. Pricing, just want to mention that really quickly, that the 8x10 sizes that I showed are $29, and the 18x12 sizes, vertical or horizontal, are $49. Plus tax if you live in Ohio, and or shipping if it's necessary. So please just reach out to us. We can't wait to show you some new designs, and we will be sharing those as we do them on Instagram, our new Instagram page, Count It All Joy Designs, or on our YouTube channel where you're watching this tonight. Okay, so my segment's done, and now I'm going to bring up our songwriter, and Anna is going to introduce you to Ed Amann. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed our segment tonight.
Hey, everybody. And Ed, we're waiting to see you.
Yep.
He's going. Hey, Ed.
There
Welcome. Welcome, welcome. It's good to have you tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Always, always. As those of you who've tuned into prior episodes know, I am the regional coordinator for the Nashville Songwriters Association International, NSAI, and for Cleveland, Akron. And we've been blessed to have many of our songwriters already join us, or I should say 2 prior songwriters who are from the chapter. And tonight is no different. We have Ed Amann with us. Very blessed to have Ed. He's become a dear, dear friend and just one of the most kindest people and gentlest people I've ever met. So very happy to have him tonight here with us. As we talked about in our last episode, not all songwriters write to perform, but with Ed, that is not the case. He is a performing songwriter. Prior to COVID, he was regularly performing out every week, and we'll share a little bit more detail about that moving forward in the interview. But Ed, why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about the type and genre of music that you typically write?
I tend to write in the folk style. I perform what would be called broad spectrum folk music. I tend to believe that any music which can be performed by folks is folk music. My writing is similarly a broad range of styles.
Yep, yep. And as a performer, you're a very talented guitar player as well. Can you share, when did you start playing the guitar, and what kind of drew you to learning how to play?
I've played for 54 years, and although I haven't had many formal lessons. I'm mostly self-taught. I learned a lot from watching daytime talk shows in the early 60s when they had house bands with guitar players like Herb Ellis and other jazz players. Once I started playing, I listened to more instrumental and other guitar-based rock and roll like the Ventures and the British Invasion bands. I would listen to some songs over and over to try to hear every note. I didn't think that I was getting it, but it must have did something for me. A lot of how I learned to play could be called on the job training with the many bands I've played in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, Ed, share with us a little bit what started your love of music in your life?
The grandparents who raised me, because mom worked nights and dad worked out of town, were both musical. There was always some kind of music in the house. I was a kid a long time ago when there were AM stations that played a lot of everything instead of the narrow playlists of today's radio. There was also a good collection of classical, jazz, and big band records.
Yep, and I'm a big band fan myself. My parents both loved big band music. That was their generation and era. But I'm curious, with between classical jazz and big band, how did you end up settling on folk?
I used to watch Hootenanny, where folk singers performed at UCLA. I always seemed to pay particular attention to the guitarists.
Hmm. Hmm. And how long have you been writing, Ed, and what kind of got you started writing?
I've been writing since middle school, actually, before I started playing. I started with poetry, and teachers always said my work was sing-songy, so that was a clue that I should be writing songs.
There you go. There you go. Well, Ed, being with you for, gosh, probably about 4 years now with the chapter, have come to really love and appreciate your melodies. You're just a great melody writer. Tell us a little bit about how you come about writing a new song with your melodies and corresponding lyrics, and whether you start with the melody, the lyric, the hook. How do you go about writing a new song typically?
Sometimes I'm just playing some chords and I hear a melody come out from within them. Then I either complete it as an instrumental if it's really strong or struggle through creating a lyric. Lyric writing does tend to be a challenge for me, except in the rare case when I happen to write from the lyric first.
Hmm. And that's the nice thing about co-writing. For example, in our local chapter, there's a lot of co-writing going on. We have a lot of people who are very strong, like Ed, in melody, and then also who are very strong in the lyric side. So that's the beauty of being able to co-write and learn from one another too. So very good, Ed. Curious as to who have been your greatest influences, not only from a performing and guitar playing perspective, but also from a songwriting perspective.
Dickie Betts from the Allman Brothers, he had a smooth, more country than rock and roll style lead playing. Eric Clapton for his blues and his time bending rock and roll solos. Phil Keaggy from Youngstown, he's kind of local. He's now a Christian solo artist. He had always been a very accurate player with interesting harmonics. And there were many others that inspired me. It seems like everybody I hear, I pick up some little thing from.
Hmm. And how about from a songwriting perspective?
For writing, the influence has been Bob Dylan and Roger McGuinn from the Byrds and Slade Cleaves. He's a little more modern, kind of in the outlaw country style.
Ah, outlaw country. I love that term. For the benefit of our audience, can you define that?
It's country music that at the time, back about 40 years ago, the Nashville establishment thought this stuff was a little too rough around the edges for what they were doing then. Artists like Waylon Jennings or more recently Dwight Yoakam. As time went on, a lot of this became more mainstream.
For sure, for sure. And you shared with me earlier today, Ed, that a lot of your performances are really done in an oral tradition. Can you please define that term for our audience?
It means that I perform my songs from memory rather than by reading. This allows me better engagement with my audience. The downside of that is sometimes mistakes happen. The upside is that it's never the same show twice.
Yep, very true, very true. Uh, Talking about performing, tell us how long you've been performing and tell us a little bit about your career in
I,
performing, Ed.
I started performing in the late 1960s, both with some kid rock bands and solo at a folk open mic at the Hillel House by KSU. While I was in the Army in Vietnam, I managed to find some local bands over there to sit in with. After the Army, I played with a lot of commercial country bands, mostly in private clubs, so I never became very well known. The quality of these bands was just all over the map. I learned that being in a good band and playing more important shows was not always connected. One of the worst bands I was ever in ended up opening for Little Jimmy Dickens, and the best one was never heard outside the private clubs.
Huh, that's funny. Well, go figure, right? And well, at least you got to play for Little Jimmy, right? So that is awesome. Um, Tell us a little bit. Certainly before COVID, you were performing out on a regular basis. Ed, what's going on now with everything going on with this pandemic for songwriters and for yourself?
At present, I'm kind of taking an unwelcome hiatus from performing, more out of concern for my audience than myself. I seem to be pretty tough. But when I do play out, I tend to play smaller venues and for sort of, I guess you'd call them at-risk audiences, because a lot of them are older. So I just really can't play out right now. I'm hoping there'll soon be an effective vaccine so that I can get back to performing.
Mm-hmm. Amen. Amen. Tell the audience, if you will, Ed, about your 2 CDs that you have available for purchase and how someone would go about doing that and getting a hold of you to purchase one if they are interested.
I have 2 full CDs. The one on the right's actually the first one. It's Lazy Day. And after that was Playing the Game. They're both similar to a live show because they're just me and my guitar. Also, on the sites where we'll go to purchase things, I have a number of more recent singles that are, in many cases, fully produced with like a whole band sound.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all me except for the drums.
Yep. And so Carrie has just put up for us where you can go to hear some more of Ed's music. And Ed, share just briefly, based on what's showing on the screen, what is the best way for folks to reach out to you if they were to have a question or would want to reach out about music and getting some music?
Best way to reach me is on my website. There's a contact me page on there, and you just fill out the little form and it sends me an email and I'll get back to you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, great. So without further ado, we want to give you an opportunity to hear one of Ed's wonderful songs. He is going to sing out for you. Ed Amann.
She sits alone each day at lunchtime. Kids think she's a fool. She goes home and looks after mother each night after school. Sing out for the disaffected, the underloved and unselected. Sing for the ones who try each day and fail but have no other way. See the beggar on the corner, picture being in his shoes. Think about what put him there, wonder could you pay those dues? Sing out for the disaffected, the underloved and unselected. Sing for the ones who try each day and fail but have no other way. Take a drive down to the shelter, see the people there. People living with their troubles, do you have the time to care? Sing out for the disaffected, the underloved and unselected. Sing for the ones who try each day and fail but have no other way. Consider just for one small moment what sets you above. Could it be we're not that different? Can you find some room for love? Sing out for the disaffected, the underloved and unselected. Sing for the ones who try each day and fail but have no other way. Sing for the ones who try each day and fail but have no other way.
Yay! Here I am. Thanks,
Thank
Ed,
you.
so much. That is an awesome, awesome song, one of my favorites of yours, and very timely for this time of year. Remembering those that are less fortunate than we are, the needy. Uh, this time of year can just be really hard and sad because they don't have all the things that we are blessed to have, and oftentimes don't even have family members or friends that they can turn to. So especially this year with COVID, we welcome and encourage everybody out there, all our audience, to pay it forward. Try to reach out and help someone who is less fortunate this holiday season. And just really, really appreciate you being with us today. Ed, thank you so much for taking your time and playing your awesome song.
Thank you for having me on and supporting my music.
Always, Ed. God bless you, and we'll see you next week, next month, I should say, at our next meeting.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Ed.
Be well, stay safe, and have fun.
Yep.
We will. I just wanted to share real quick that Ed also has an Apple Music iTunes page, and that's a good way to hear some of his new things. I think when I brought up the previous image, I had forgotten to include that one. So I wanted to bring this back up so you know how to contact Ed. We'll also share that on our website. Thank you so much. Beautiful song.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
Okay, so I think we're ready to close out.
Yeah. Well, what a good episode. I hope everybody enjoyed, and so glad to have everybody with us. Thank you guys again for being here to support us every week and to support local artists, vendors, crafters, and obviously songwriters. So we hope you guys will tune back in next week. Actually, next week, it's important to say, next week is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thanksgiving.
Be safe and well. And next week, we will not be meeting on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, but we will be meeting at 7:15 on Black Friday. So please mark your calendars, and please, we hope you'll be with us again.
Yes, bring a friend, bring a family member. It's Black Friday. You're probably not going out shopping, so you're going to be looking for something to do Friday night, and we would just love for you to join us by my fire.
Thanks so much, guys.
Okay, so we're going to share the Zoom meeting link, or it's already shared on our Facebook page, and the passcode that you need to enter that meeting tonight is JOY2020. So we've had some good attendance there, and we welcome you to come. Remember, you can meet Lisa, you can meet Ed, and you can talk to Anna or I in the Zoom meeting and meet our other supporters and friends. Hope to see you there.
Awesome. Peace out, guys. Be safe.
Good night.
Good night.